It's time for the trackers.
How do you want to hit us with the curse tracker on this one?
Yeah, this was another one that was surprisingly light on curses, although I will say that every curse that he had was only used once. Although he says Jesus and Christ as two separate ones, but I count those as kind of the same on the tracker. So that's the only one that doubled up. But as for the rest of them, so we had two Jesus or Christ, one hell, one bastard, which has been a while since we've had a bastard. I think Vampire's Kiss was the only other one, at least that I may have. Yeah, or maybe I missed it in other films, but I noticed it in this one. So one goddamn and one god in the pejorative sense, and only one fuck, which is when he's in the bar with Bobby.
I ain't fucking for sure, Bobby.
Fucking sure. Yeah. It seemed like he did. For a while, I was wondering if this is gonna be another one where he doesn't swear at all. But in that third act, they all mostly come from the third act. I think almost all of them do. Where it's kind of like showing that things are a lot more intense for him, and things are breaking down and kind of going off the rails. So the curses come out a little bit more. And like we said earlier, when he's got that snakeskin jacket on, it's kind of his Elvis facade, the idealized man of Lula's dreams. And as the third act happens, he's kind of stripped that away and he's more of a human person. So maybe the swearing kind of reflects that. So yeah. So that's 7 total curses in this movie. Our total is up to 610.
I do wonder if that is part of the whole thing. It was just, he's stripped of that persona, and I gotta wonder if that was something that Lynch had planned, because it's a very distinct choice to have him not wear that snakeskin jacket in that last robbery and stuff, but at the same time, it's like that would have been very easy to identify later on.
Yeah.
Who else is wearing that jacket?
I mean, it might also be because he talks about being a symbol of his individuality or whatever he says, and this is like, I don't know,
him kind of forking that over.
He's losing that as he has to revert back to a life of crime or something or other, or he's forced to get into the real world again and face the harshness of it and whatnot. And by the end, he puts it back on, and he's kind of back to that idealized self and singing "Love Me Tender" to Lula and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of wish that he would have not had it on until he made the decision to go back to Lula.
To go back.
Maybe had it over his shoulder or something the whole time.
Yeah.
But anyways, runtime. This was one of the longest movies that we've done. Going to be one of our longest episodes for sure. It was the second longest show sheet that we've ever had behind Face Off. This was 124 minutes, so just over 2 hours. Which puts it behind Face Off, The Rock, National Treasure, and The Family Man, which still, The Family Man just did not seem like it should have been that long for a Christmas movie.
It should not have been.
Nudity. We have not had any nudity this entire season, but boy, did we make up for it in this movie. I counted 10 sets of breasts, not counting Laura Dern getting naked in every other scene.
Yeah.
But that's 20 total. You count the girls dancing in the background in every other scene, plus Laura Dern, 20 total breasts, which brings our grand total up to 58 now. The amount of boobage.
Yeah.
Did we have any nudity in season 2?
We did, yeah. A few things here and there. A lot of butts. A lot of butts in that season.
Oh, yeah. It was a heavy butt season. That's right.
Very heavy butt season. A few penises as well. State and country tracker. They make their way from North Carolina down, but we only confirm North Carolina, Louisiana, and Texas. So those are the only ones I'm actually counting. Which we had already been to Louisiana a few times, and we had been to Texas a few times as well. I think 3 times each now. But this is our first time in North Carolina. So that brings our grand total up to 21 total states, 17 countries, which we haven't left the U.S. again in this season again. Mm-hmm. The entire first season, we never left the U.S., and then the second season, we left a bunch, and now we haven't left again. It's interesting how that works. budget versus gross is at a $10 million budget, made $14.6 million. So that brings our grand total up to $1.017.7 billion for total budget. There's been over $1 billion spent making Nick Cage movies for 33 movies, right? No. Yes. What episode are we on? 35?
I'm not keeping track.
36? I don't know.
Oh, no.
Anyways, over $1 billion, and then we have made $2.334 billion total.
Nice.
So over double. Top grossing, this is not even close. 14.6. Art house movies, kind of in the middle. Because we have so many movies that just made nothing. 14.6 is sandwiched in between Bringing Out the Dead and Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans. Interesting lineup there. Trio of movies. Ratings, of course, are rated. We now have 18. So 18 versus 8 PG-13s, 6 unrated, and 2 PGs. And that leads us over to the kill tracker.
This one was super easy. Just one kill at the very beginning. He manslaughtered that guy.
He murdered the fuck out of him.
So that brings us to a total of 177 kills. And then he didn't die in this film. So 0 deaths. So we're still at 11 films where he's died.